In the metals quadrant today, taking a look at the May copper futures contract, which had some downward pressure today. We actually made our lows in the copper contract early in the morning and then rallied up mid-morning, almost making a new high versus yesterday's high. That high level, 4.2920, that was up 30 basis points or about 31%. The low, which we made in the morning, 4.2515, down 64 basis points, or a little bit more than 0.5%. We ended up finishing the day right around that down 0.5% mark, somewhere in the range of 54 basis points lower. Now, despite copper being lower, the rally is still intact. Since putting in what I would call a bear market pause at the end of March, a little bottom there, we've rallied 6.6% in the price of May copper. So bull market is still firmly intact. Now, today's pressure could have come from some extra supply that surprised the market a little bit. Freeport-McMoRan, whose stock symbol is FCX, had a little bit of a surprise to the upside in terms of the amount of copper they mined. Bloomberg's estimate of 824,400,000 pounds of copper from Freeport-McMoRan was beaten. They actually had an output of about 910 million pounds. So they beat it by quite a bit. And that actually eased the supply constraints a little bit in the market's mind, at least, giving us a little bit of that downward pressure. But overall, still elevated prices, still trying to move back up toward those highs that we had earlier in the year. Now, the dollar also rallied, having its best day since the end of March, but still under pressure overall. It was only up on balance about 30 basis points. It was up about 30 basis points versus the yen, about 18 basis points versus the euro, had its best day versus the sterling, up almost 0.75%. So that dollar strength also put pressure on the price of copper with that inverse relationship. So everything was pointing to copper going lower after trying to get positive on the day. It did get positive on the day, didn't stay there, down a little bit more than 0.5% into the close.